for top working trees, my go-to graft in almost every situation is normally I prep all the scions that I use because prep scions are definitely the best.
Talk about worst to first, from a Florigan to a cat.
Top working is really a good idea as far as how to change your mind after you've planted the trees and had them grow for a few years.
How long ago did you graft it now that you got fruit?
I think it was 4 years ago. I try not to graft large varieties onto these trees.
Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and I am so excited to talk about mangoes. We are back at Truly Tropical Mangoes with Chris, and I did a series of videos there recently, and this is another one here today. This is a tree that I have. This was a cherry tree. Some of it still is, but I top worked it to a emerald mango, and I was always curious about top working, and of all the people I see out there in YouTube world and making videos, I see Chris at Truly Tropical top working more than anyone else. So I was always wondering and excited to talk to her about her trees and how she top works them and what she does. And today she's going to talk about top working mango trees, what she does, how she chooses that, and a whole bunch of other great stuff. And she also has a lot of trees for sale. We'll be featuring that in the next video as well. But you definitely want to go check out Truly Tropical Mango Farm, and they are in Delray Beach, Florida, South Florida. During mango season, they have a ton of great stuff, but even now they have great information and great trees. And we're going to have a great video today, talk about top working trees with Chris from Truly Tropical Mangoes, and here we go. Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and today we are at an amazing mango farm. This is Truly Tropical Mango Farm in Delray Beach, Florida. I've been here before and I'm back again, and this is Chris. Chris is the owner of this amazing farm, and if you want to get mangoes, they have varieties. They have the common varieties and they have varieties you never even heard of yet, because she's grown some seedlings here, which we'll hear about today as well. But we're here today and we're going to do some filming, and this place is wonderful. I'm going to put the link and to her website and her YouTube channel, but she makes a lot of videos on YouTube below. So here we go. Do you have a particular method of top working the grafts that you prefer, or do you just do a whole bunch of different kinds? Because I know you have a bunch of videos teaching on the different types of ways to graft. So do you have a particular favorite one?
Well, for top working trees, my go-to graft in almost every situation is a veneer graft. And that works out really well for many reasons. And sometimes I'll use a cleft graft, but really the veneer graft is at least 90% of what I do for top working. Interesting.
And it took you a while of experience over the years to figure out that that's what you like best.
Well, yeah, I try to pay attention to what works and what's easiest, of course. You don't want to have something that takes 2 days to do and then, yay, it worked. You know, you want to get something easy and successful. And so for most situations for top working, that works out very nicely.
So here's another top work that you've done here, and tell us about this one. Which one is this?
Well, there's actually two trees that are sort of side by side, and they are both originally Florigan. And Florigan is a disease-resistant, very productive, reliable Florida mango, and it's a good solid mango. But we have another tree in the back, and that really supplies all of the Florigan that we need. There's just so many other varieties out there that are, have their own fan base. So I decided that for these two trees, I would top work them. This one is sort of a funny one, because a little while ago, we trimmed our tack tree, and I looked at the stuff that was coming off the tree and I thought, this looks like it's ready to graft. Normally I prep all the scions that I use because prep scions are definitely the best. But in this case, I thought, why waste all of these scions that look like they will work? And so this Florigan tree had enough shoots on it that I could sort of try all of it, all of these different scions. And so right here you see one of those tack scions that has taken, and we have another couple here, up here, and here. So This is sort of the beginning stages of this, converting this tree. I will eventually eliminate or graft onto almost all of these shoots that are on the tree. And hopefully in 2025, we will have a nice crop of cac mango on this tree.
Wow, talk about worst to first, from a Florigan to a cac. Cac has been one of my favorite mangoes last year, and
yeah, it's very nice.
It's wonderful. That's great. How many cac trees do you have here?
Well, this will make 2.
Oh, that'll make your second one. Okay. Yeah, it's a wonderful mango.
And then the other Florigan tree is here. And a few years back, I cut back half of the tree, which is usually what I do, is cut half at the time. And I put Kuklam Krong on this side. And Kuklam Krong is a Southeast Asian variety that it has some similarities to Nam Dak Mai, but then has this really special flavor that sort of lingers afterwards. And so I wanted to have that growing somewhere. We actually got fruit on that this year for the first time.
How long ago did you graft it now that you got fruit?
I think it was 4 years ago.
4 years.
This other side here, I am making a different variety. So what I constantly am trying to do is cut off the sprout outs of places I do not want branches. So I've cut off these areas and try and get these particular branches spaced out nicely. I certainly don't need one here. This is growing right into shadows and such, and so I'll cut that off. I want most of the branch ends near the cut because of helping to heal this particular wound. So
we'll say that again. So here's where you cut this, and the wound is healing.
Yeah, but when you have these branches that are close, as they get bigger, they will actually help heal this. And
okay. So these are the ones you'll graft?
Yeah, definitely, and probably graft a few others, but the ones that are closest to the cut end are, I think, the most important.
Okay, wow, that's great. And you have a lot of top work varieties here, right?
Oh yeah, this is the season that I have the time, and the weather's pretty good for top working. So I have tried to add the most popular varieties that we sell, add more of those to the grove. There were certain varieties this past season that just seemed to sell out instantly, so I'm trying to make more trees of those.
Since you're a commercial grower, that's where you have to go by what the demand is for. But if it was a personal property, you go by what you just like best, right?
Yeah, but basically, you'd have to get an oversized wheelchair for me if I were eating all of the fruit that this produced. Yeah. I mean, I definitely, enjoy all sorts of varieties here, but I need the customers to keep me from, becoming the size of a house.
Sure. And obviously, if you were planting now and you knew what was going to be most popular, you would have planted those trees, or instead of planting the ones that you knew weren't going to be as popular, right?
Well, of course, 2020 hindsight is lovely, but there are just so many varieties available now that were not available 20 years ago. And so, of course, I would be making different selections just based on the varieties available. But I have a lot of varieties that are not commonly grown, and some of those I planted, 24 years ago. So it just really depends. There's no such thing as a perfect decision for the future. You have to modify it, and top working is really a good idea as far as how to change your mind after you've planted the trees and had them grow for a few years.
Sure. And what about this branch here that's coming out this way? Well, that's something that you'll top work this, or is that something you'd cut, or what?
I don't know. I think that I already top worked it, pretty sure. I see several grafts on here.
But that won't affect the tree at all if you did cut it, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
there's certain things like this is just silly how it's going down, but rather than cut it, I'll probably prep a few scions here and then cut it. So
And when you say prep a scion, give us an example of what you mean by that.
So basically, what I do is cut the leaves off, and like this wind is reminding me of hurricanes. But when we have a hurricane, you can often, if you've gotten in the wrong place, or your property is in the wrong place, you will find that a lot of the leaves on the trees have just been blown off. But if you keep looking at those areas of the tree that have no leaves, you'll find that like every place where there is a leaf, the leaf had been, there will be a bud. And so you get all these wonderful buds. This one actually has a bud already right here. So I could use that to graft right now, but I prefer to cut the leaves off their stems and let them produce more buds. This area of the branch will produce more buds, and then graft it, because it's very active and it just has a far higher success rate than when you just take a piece of a tree and try and graft it.
But that one already has a bud merged, so you could.
Yeah, I could,
that.
yeah.
But you have a better success rate if it's more than one.
It'll get even better. But I mean, this is a pretty good bet, but it'll get even better.
Okay. What about, you mentioned buds, what about bud grafting? Have you done that type of graft?
I have. The problem, I think, with me and bud grafting is I don't have a lot of space for plants. And it's a long time before a bud grafted plant is a saleable size. And so I usually use a seedling plant with a good root system, because it just grows much better. And I don't have to take care of it once it's grafted for as long.
Okay, so then you'll cut that when the buds come out, wrap it up, and then you're ready to go.
Right, yeah. Just over here, this is, of course, the big Haydens, which most of them are top worked, but I have all sorts of small trees. And, these trees I don't want to get big. And in fact, this particular tree, I've cut back one of the trunks. It was a double trunked thing, and once these sprouts get to be like bigger, I'll top work a variety onto this, because I think that this is a seedling tree. But this whole collection of small trees are ones that I want to have stay small.
And are these particular varieties that stay small, or it doesn't matter? You just plant them and keep them small, even if they're a bigger variety?
Well, I try not to graft large varieties onto these trees. Like for instance, Bombay, or Valencia Pride. So as long as I'm sort of careful about the varieties that I graft onto them, they should be manageable.
And what varieties do you have here? What that you put on here? Do you remember?
Well, most of the small trees have not yet been grafted, or they've lost their tags. And so lost tags, unless they flower this season, they're going to be cut back and top worked to some known variety. In some of these areas, the larger trees, there's one of them is Pineapple Pleasure. I've got guava in here, guava mango. This particular tree has grown crazy because it was on a very vigorous rootstock, but that's a calicate, which is actually a semi-dwarf tree. But because of it being on such a big rootstock, it's grown more quickly. Wow.
And these three trees here, so these are pretty close. These may be, 5 or 6 feet apart in this little triangle, huh? Wow.
Yeah. They're pretty close, but I think it's good to have, when I get a new variety, I like to put it on a second location. And so, in this situation, as long as I keep trimming little pieces of the plants at certain times, I have a destination for, some interesting scions.
And a thought just came to me now is, even if somebody does this in their house, and they don't have all the free budwood that you have here, but at worst case scenario, at least they got budwood to re-top work the tree somewhere else if it doesn't work in terms of spacing.
Yeah, it's a good insurance policy.
Yeah, yeah, wow. Well, that's great. Well, thank you for having us come out and showing us these amazing trees. Tell everybody your website.
Our website is themangoplace.com.
All right, and you also have a YouTube channel. What's the name of your YouTube channel?
It's Truly Tropical.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all your videos. You do videos like 3 times a week or something, right?
It depends on the time of year because I don't think a lot happens during mango season as far as the videos go. But we try and get some information out there. Hopefully it's useful for people.
Great. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Check them out, and the link's below. All right, everybody, there it was. Thank you, Chris, for having us come on out here and film, and it's wonderful, Truly Tropical. Their website has a whole bunch of information and the videos. I've learned so much from these videos, and I'm so glad Chris is still making videos on her channel. The link's below. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day and keep growing. All right, everybody, that was Chris at Truly Tropical Mangoes. Love that place. Anytime I'm on a mango farm surrounded by mango trees, I'm so excited. But when I get information on top of it that I can learn, it's even more exciting. And I always learn from Chris and her videos, wonderful videos. I'm going to put a YouTube channel, and also I'm going to put below her website, and check that out. She has great information, really educational stuff. And if you know somebody who has a farm or trees and you want me to go feature them on the show, just my email's below. Contact me, and I'd love to do that. And I'm so blessed to be living where I'm living and be able to connect with these people. And it's my goal to interview them so we could all learn from each other. So thank you, Chris at Truly Tropical. Links are below. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Everybody, put your comments or questions below. Have a great day and keep growing.